Concerning comments. Get it? Concerning hobbits, concerning comments. Anyways, hey, what's up everyone? It's your boy JangoMike here. Thanks for tuning in. So really quick, I just wanted to do like a quick video to kind of update the status of my channel as far as it goes with like the comments and all that stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut to the chase and say what I got to say. And then I will tell like a little bit of backstory and history of why and what I'm doing, what I'm trying to do. So that way for the people that don't want to hear all that extra stuff, you could just hear the announcement and move on. Or if you want to hear me talk more, then like you'll get to hear the explanation. So with that being said, let's get into it. For the longest time, if you've been watching my channel for a while, I've had the comments turned off. And I'll get into that in a minute, like why, like the logic behind that. But essentially, like about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, I actually turned them back on. But I turned them on to the hold for review option, which I didn't realize like YouTube will hold them to review them, but they're not going to notify you. Like I never got a notification. So I just assumed no one was commenting, like because everyone was used to them being off. So like I never thought much of it. But then recently I was having a conversation and they were like, no, you have to like go, there's a tab, you need to check the hold for review comments. Like there's no notification. And I was like, huh? So I went on my phone into the studio app and I clicked on it and there was like a bunch of comments that were being held for review. And I felt like a total jerk because I had no idea this whole time people were commenting and I wasn't like responding and all that. So first off, like if you're one of those people, I'm totally sorry. Like that's not my style. Like I'm actually pretty OCD. Like I try to respond to anybody who reaches out to me. So let alone on a comment, you know? So for that, I apologize. Anyways, the kind of crappy thing is that it only goes back to the last 60 days. So if I turned these on like 2 years ago, like that's like 2 years worth of comments like that are missing. So I apologize. So everybody, if you're watching, like go ahead, start dropping your comments on my videos if I never responded, or if you have questions, or go ahead, like just drop them because I'll see them now. I know what to look for. And you know, with my OCD and my ADD, like I'm going to be going through them and checking, you know, I can't help it. That's just who I am. So please do that. And, you know, as with anything, like just, you know, if you dig the channel, give it a like. If you dig the videos, give them a like. If you dig, subscribe. You know, I do what I do. I put out what I put out when I do. Like it's just more or less whenever I feel like it. And so like I appreciate everyone that takes the time to watch. So, but just like sorry in advance, like if it's sometimes I post too much fishing and not enough bass, or if I post like too much bass and not enough fishing, like I realize like I have a split audience, so I apologize. So if you're one of those people that's all you wanted to hear, you can go ahead and tune out, because now I'm going to kind of explain like my whole like logic and thinking about comments and why they were turned off in the first place. All right, so let's get into that. So check it out. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you know I'm an Iraq War vet. I was in the Army for 8 years. I served honorably, proudly. I was in the Iraq War. I was there for a long time. And my job was not a combat cameraman. Like, that's not what my job was. But I still had a camera with me everywhere I went. You know, I grew up as a skater kid, and we filmed everything. If you've ever watched a skate video, like, they film all the skating and they do skits. So when I went to Iraq, I still went with that mindset to film everything. So I made a bunch of cool videos in Iraq. The idea was to make like a cool like montage video, kind of like a skate video style, but with my Iraq War experience. So like there's skits in there, and then there's like some serious cool montages and stories and whatnot. And I thought when I came home from the war that I'd be able to like package that into like a video or a DVD and sell it, and I never did. You know, when you come back from war, like a lot of things kind of change as far as like what you think you're going to be doing with your life. So anyways, in around 2007, I saw that I could post some of my videos to YouTube. A lot of people were asking me like, hey, I want to see some of your videos from Iraq. Like, can you post them somewhere? So I went ahead and opened a YouTube account and put some some of my war footage up there. And some of them got a lot of views. It was kind of cool, you know, like I never really experienced that before. But right away I noticed that, you know, people support, they give love, but then you got those haters, man. You got those guys that just have something to say, you know, and it was everything from just criticism to anti-war to like, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to find your family. And I actually had, I got contacted by some sources that I have with the federal government, how like my channel was being watched by some bad actors that were involved in some bad stuff in the Middle East, and to be careful. So just kind of weirded me out. That soured me to the whole experience of like comments and stuff. So, but I didn't turn them off yet. So fast forward again, around the time when I get this baby, or no, even maybe before that, I was already posting a lot of videos of like performances of like just groups I was gigging with and just all kinds of fun stuff, you know, memes and just being silly, you know, like I love video. So I was always making stuff. But when I got this bad boy, like people were really asking me like, hey, like I really want to see some videos of that bass. So I started putting up a little bit of things. And then again, like got a lot of love and I appreciate that, but got a lot of hate, got a lot of armchair generals telling me what I should be doing and what I'm doing is wrong and blah, blah, blah. And I don't like that stuff. Like, I know people say like, oh, just ignore it, it's no big deal. But you don't understand, like, where I'm from, you talk shit, like you get hit. Like, we throw hands, fades get caught, like, that's how we roll, you know, like, and so I grew up, there was no internet, and when I became a teenager, there wasn't internet. So that mindset of like, oh, like you want to do this, it never really went away. And then the other thing too is like, I don't like bullies. Like, I don't like people who like to like talk shit and like do dumb shit to other people on the internet. I hate that stuff. So I have to say something back, and I can't help it. If you've ever watched the show Curb Your Enthusiasm, and my man Larry David, you know, like he cannot help himself. He has to say something too.
Get out of here.
So I call it my Larry David complex. Like, I have to say something. Even in real life, when I see people acting a fool, like, I'll say something. Like, at the VA hospital, like, if someone's being an asshole, like, unnecessarily to, like, one of the people that works there, I'll be the first one to say, hey, yo, shut the fuck up. Like, leave her alone. Like, she's just doing her job. Not everyone's here to wipe your ass. Or whatever, you know, like, I say stuff, and I'm not afraid. Like, what are you going to do, beat me up? Like, let's fight. Like, I don't care. I've been fighting my whole life, you know. I'm whatever, you know, it's all good. So I'm just trying to say, like, I have this Larry David complex. I can't not say something when something's fucked up. And even on the internet. So eventually I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to turn them off, man. I don't want to hear it. Because part of me, like, I don't want to hear it because, like, I don't like the negativity. It's stupid. I don't want to see it because I'll have no choice to respond. But also, too, it's just like, I don't want to make stuff just for the purpose of being liked or hated. Like, I honestly like to create this stuff because I like creating. Like, I like making videos. Like I said, I was a skater kid. We always made videos. Even before that, when we were little kids, when our parents had little VHS cameras and stuff, we would make little like kung fu movies and stuff and like just get silly. And I just like creating. It's like one of my outlets. It makes me feel good. I always joke about my ADD OCD. Like, I'm always creating something. In videos, it's just one way. Music is another way. Fishing is another way. And then putting it all together, it's like I'm feeding my ADD monster. So like, I want to just do that. And so I just said, forget these comments, man. I'm turning them off. And then recently, like I said, in the last couple of years, I've just been doing a lot and getting a lot of feedback, like people finding ways to get a hold of me, like sending me emails through my About Me section and stuff. And then just having conversations with people whose artistic opinions I respect. They're like, you got to turn those things back on. So that's why I came up with the idea of just putting them on, but putting the hold for review so I can still like flag those jerks that want to make things negative and complicated, you know? And so like, even like when I went back on and I was going through and I realized like I missed a whole bunch, like I saw some stuff in there that was just like, these fucking people, man, people are always got to say something negative, you know? I'll give you an example. I'll try to remember to flash some of the, what I saw, but I put up a video of me fishing, and I'm wearing a band shirt. It says "I Hate God." That's the name of a band. By the way, that's like one of my all-time favorite bands. I freaking love "I Hate God." They write some of my most favorite riffs. It's heavy, it's groovy. Like, that band is dope. And so I wear a lot of "I Hate God" shirts. And I'm fishing and wearing an "I Hate God" shirt, and this guy's like, "Oh, you hate God, you're an idiot." And I'm just like, all right, man, you want to do, like, that's what you want to say? So I just like wrote back something like, you know, like, it's the name of a band first off, and like it says "I," like as it's spelled out, EYEI, you know, and like, does God really want you calling people on the internet idiots? And of course, like, it turns into this whole freaking back and forth, and I'm like, why am I doing this? This is why I hadn't it turned off in the beginning, because I can't not say something. The Larry David complex in me says say something. Oh yeah, before I'm gonna actually cut this part back in, but the other thing too about like a lot of the hate I would get, like I said, I have OCD ADD, so if someone says something to me, one of the first things I do is I go check their channel. Like, clearly this person is better than me at something, so they must have a lot of videos of them doing it better than me. So I've been on YouTube since 2007. I started posting bass stuff like 2009, 2010, maybe. I've been getting hate ever since. Not one time has anyone ever shown me hate that had video of themselves doing it better or doing it right. Not one. It's always like some jerk off with like no followers, just the channel. It's like they just use that to just shit on other people. So like, I always thought that was funny. And then the other thing I noticed too is like, you know, I was a working musician. I was a gigger. I toured. I did all kinds. I've been in front of hundreds of thousands of people in my music career, and no one in person has ever said any of the kind of stuff that people say to you on the internet as far as like negativity and talking shit. You know, like one of my favorite is like, "You don't deserve that bass," which I think is really funny because like, well, no one deserves anything, but like Carl Thompson made this bass for me. Carl Thompson is my friend. He makes these. And if anyone thought I didn't deserve it, it would have been him, and he would have told me, "Go screw yourself," which he does tell people that all the time when they try to order basses from him. So like, I always thought that was kind of funny. But the other thing like is people would criticize how I do something or how I play or my technique or some weird, I know I always joke about it, like some music major will say some jarble, and so I'll go look on their site and nothing. Like, they don't have any videos of them showing. Not once has anyone ever shown me how it's done better. Oh, which is the third thing I was going to bring up. Sorry, I'm all over the place. That's my ADD. So when I would engage these people, like, "Oh, you're playing this wrong," or you suck, I'd be like, "Okay, cool. Like, well, why don't you show me on your YouTube channel like how it's actually done, since you're the expert, you know that I'm doing it wrong." Not once, ever has anyone actually done that. If anything, it's the opposite. I have some friends in the music business, some famous bass players. You know who they are. I've talked about it and shown them. If anything, those guys do play better than me and would mop the floor with me all day, every day. They never say anything negative like that. They've never once told me you do horrible. If anything, it's the opposite. They told me like how great that is. Like, that's good. Like, that's cool. I like your interpretation, whatever. Like, nothing but love. So I guess what I'm getting at is like all that stuff, like it bugged the shit out of me. So that's why I turned them off. But they're back on now, and they're going to be in hold for reviews. So that way I can at least review them to see if I really want to let some of that crap seep through, because some of it I do want other people to see, because it's freaking hilarious. Like the guy with the "I Hate God" shirt, that made me laugh. I actually shared that with an "I Hate God" like fan group, and they were freaking dying laughing. That the guy was just so insistent that I was like some kind of like that I literally hated God because I wore the band shirt. And I'm like, well, no, like, I'm just wearing a shirt to a band that has like some of my most favorite riffs of all time. So anyways, I think I've said what I had to say, and I just want you to all know that I do appreciate you watching. Like, I'm not trying to come off as like some bitter guy, but I don't like bullies and I don't like negativity. I don't want to see it, but I don't want to like exclude all the people that have legitimate stuff they want to ask or legitimate nice stuff they want to share, because like I don't do this for that reason, but it is nice to kind of get some feedback like, people actually dig this, because sometimes I don't know, like I kind of live in my own head and the ideas I come up with, stuff I want to do, like I don't know if people actually like it. I just assume somebody does because they're subscribing, they're liking, but when reading the comments you actually get to see, And another thing too is like I went through some of the old comments and like some people had really nice stuff to say like 8 years ago, and so I wrote back like, hey, like, have you done this? Like one guy told me like in one of the comments like, oh, I hope to order a Carl Thompson someday. Like I really love your video, thank you. So I wrote him. I was like, hey man, like just following up on your comment, like did you ever order your Carl Thompson? And he kind of explained like his life story, like what's happened in those 8 years. Like he did order one, but then he wasn't able to get it because he had an emergency. He had to like get the deposit back, but then he was able to get another one in, and he has one on order right now. Like that's freaking cool, man. Like, so I feel like those kind of moments is the reason why they should come back on. So I'm turning them back on. Let's fire them up, man. Start writing me stuff. Let me know what you want me to jam. If there's a song you want me to cover or whatever. If you want to collaborate, I love collaborations. I have to say this because I know he watches my channel. He's said things before. He's shared my video before. But Shelton, Hank Williams III, if you're watching, you need a bass player for any project, or you just want to do anything, I'm your fucking man all day. I love your music. I think you're a rad dude. I appreciate all you've done. I hate to say it, I am a fan, but I would respectfully love to fucking play in your band. So, anyways, or anything you want to do, it's all good. Anyways, that's it, man. I've already talked too much. I gotta go. But keep watching the channel. Write it down. Write to me. Let me know what's up, and go play some bass or go catch some fish. Later.